Hi there, friends. Happy Thursday. Coming on live to talk about the evolution of yoga alignment in the impacts of our nervous system. If we don't know each other, my name is Michelle Nayeli. You can choose. And I've taught yoga and movement for 20 years and have practiced for almost my whole life. It's really saved my life in a lot of ways. Since I was 15 when I first started yoga to that's almost 30 years. And I'm really passionate about redefining yoga alignment because there's so much benefit that we're missing for the body, but also for our nervous system and our mind. So last week I was here giving a little story about why this is personal to me. And today we're going to talk about the impacts of alignment on our nervous system. So if you aren't aware, there's a little backdrop we have to paint. We are a neuromyofascial web. What that means is our nervous system, our myo, which is referring to muscles, and fascia, all of our connective tissue, is one system. So when we say body and mind or mind and body, we could really just say body-mind because it's truly one thing. And we'll probably find from a modern science perspective, there's more layers connected because from the ancient wisdom, there are all of the layers are one system. But when we think about our architecture, our nervous system is deeply, deeply, deeply embedded. It's the same thing because we're constantly assessing safety of our environment outside and inside. So one of the ways that we speak to our nervous system through embodied practice that's done in a mindful way is through the felt sense. And we could say that's interoception. Right now, if you're here listening, feel the inside of your wrist. That's interoception. If you feel hungry, if you feel thirsty, you got to go to the bathroom, those signals are interoception. And interoception is basically our nervous system inside of our fascia, which is everywhere around everything, connecting everything like the internet of our body, constantly picking up signals. It's like tendrils of radar to see what's going on. And that's in our organs and physiological processes, but also in our muscles, our bones, our joints in particular, because there are places of movement. We have to sense, are things great in the joint? Are they not safe? Are they happy, right? Just having the felt sense. Forget about alignment for a second. Just sensing your physical body has a grounding and calming effect on the nervous system. So you can do it in any moment. And that is one of the reasons why a yogic approach to movement meditation is so powerful. It's just that ability to tune in. But are we tuning in and hearing the messages accurately? So our joints are actually communicating back to the nervous system what's happening in that, we could say it's like a local environment, a microclimate maybe, an ecology. And our tendons are now seen as organs of perception. And I would just say that they are concentrated organs or concentrated locales of the whole neuromyofascial web being an organ of perception. And the messages that the tendon receives and sends are through the language of tension and compression. So it's truly physical force sending messages back to the nervous system. Things are a-okay, things are awesome, things are not so awesome. And when we have joint integrity, the joint is in its happiest relationship, the messages are more accurate, there's more of them. We have more accurate proprioception, which is where we are in space, is going to be mapped more clearly to the central nervous system, which will help us avoid injury. And it'll give us also more of that inner felt sense, which grounds the nervous system. Now, the problem is standard yoga alignment based on a rectilinear grid is completely a mental construct from the outside space that does not honor our inner design. And so when we religiously practice this alignment, it's a matter of degree. So how intensely and how often, and if you do other things, all really matter. But if we fit ourselves into the idea, we actually take the joints out of their joint integrity. And then that information communication ecology at the joint doesn't get the messages back to the central nervous system. Maybe they're incorrect. We get less proprioception, less accurate proprioception, and all of that can set us up for mistakes and injury. Fly just hit me on the head. Okay. So we want the joint integrity for obvious reasons. When we pull it apart, we endanger ourselves, but we also then send a little small, because it's maybe not, acute and severe, but a small signal of stress. Hey, things aren't actually in the happiest place right now. We're not set up for resilience and adaptability and options in our movement. And so the joints can send messages of instability, which can also come as pain, and messages of really intense feelings of stretch. The pain or that intense stretch is often the first little message of like, maybe we are not in a good place. Maybe we shouldn't push it. Maybe we shouldn't go there. But what happens when we are mentally guiding how we think right movement goes, we normalize those sensations. So we normalize the feelings, the messages of sensations that are telling us that maybe we should change. And then we think that that map of sensation is what happens when we're doing things right. And what this can do, nothing is ever, guaranteed either way, but what this can do is keep our body in a constant low-grade stress response. And so, in a yoga practice, we use breathing to counteract that. There's a whole nother conversation we could have about how much is an appropriate amount of stress, where we actually increase the strength of the system, the resilience of the system. So we may have a debate here. I'm happy to have that talk. I'd love to have that talk, actually. I can learn more myself. But if we are teaching these patterns and believing that they're good movement and we keep doing them over and over, we're going to set ourselves up for potential injury and unwanted stress on our nervous system. I mean, I think we have enough, right? We have other ways to challenge ourselves, to make ourselves stronger in the face of good stress. I would not categorize this as good stress. Our nervous system needs to be in a state of grounded, calm, and the feeling of safety so that we have the environment for healing. We've heard of the rest and digest polar map of the nervous system versus fight or flight. It's not the only map, but we need that rest, digest, repair, and connect level of activation for healing to happen, and even for change to happen, for our body to relax, to open, to connect. So I really feel passionate about this, and next week ahead, I'm offering a free training called the Evolution of Yoga Alignment, where we're going to talk about exactly how the ideas of rectilinear yoga alignment actually pull our joints apart. And I'm really for finding the ways that we can shift, it's not a huge shift our understanding and our way of presenting movement and cueing asana and vinyasa, although these ideas definitely translate to many movement modalities. Anything that has square, parallel, straight, flat words involved. That there's ways we can adapt so that we're honoring our design inside. We're honoring our nature's design. We're honoring the joint from the inside out. And we're kind of dismantling this power over that's coming through mental constructs, ideas, people telling us what's right, what's wrong, and empowering from the bottom up, from our felt sense, from nature's design, so that we can really train as much possibility and adaptability in our body, mind, and our nervous system. So I hope you can join us next week, Monday through Friday. The link is in my bio. And I think that's all I wanted to say today. May we practice in a way that's about integration, look at the rainbow, rather than separation. That we can actually embody movement meditation in a way that is about wholeness rather than fragmentation and pulling us apart. So if you're interested to learn how that all happens, come sign up for Evolution of Yoga Alignment, and I will see you there. Bye.